Climate change is an existential threat to humanity and our planet. It is affecting every aspect of our lives, from the air we breathe to the food we eat. As temperatures continue to rise and extreme weather events become more frequent and severe, it is essential that we take action to reduce our carbon footprint and mitigate the impacts of climate change. Part 1: The impact of climate change. Climate change is caused by human activity, particularly the burning of fossil fuels and deforestation. The impacts of climate change are widespread and far-reaching, affecting everything from our health and safety to our economy and national security. Rising temperatures are causing more frequent and severe heat waves, droughts, and wildfires, leading to water shortages, food insecurity, and displacement. Melting ice caps and rising sea levels are threatening coastal communities and infrastructure. The loss of biodiversity is affecting ecosystems and food chains, which will have a ripple effect on human health and well-being. Part 2: Ways to reduce our carbon footprint. Reducing our carbon footprint is essential to mitigating the impacts of climate change. We can reduce our carbon footprint in many ways, from the way we consume energy to the way we travel and eat. One of the most effective ways to reduce our carbon footprint is to transition to renewable energy sources such as solar, wind, and hydropower. We can also reduce our energy consumption by using energy-efficient appliances and reducing our reliance on fossil fuels for transportation. In addition to reducing our energy consumption, we can also reduce our carbon footprint by changing the way we eat. Eating a plant-based diet and reducing our consumption of meat and dairy can significantly reduce our carbon footprint. We can also reduce food waste by buying only what we need and composting our food scraps. Finally, we can reduce our carbon footprint by changing the way we travel. Using public transportation, carpooling, and cycling can significantly reduce our carbon emissions. We can also reduce our air travel by opting for video conferencing and other virtual alternatives. Part 3: The importance of individual action. While governments and corporations play a significant role in addressing climate change, individual action is also essential. Each of us has the power to make a difference by reducing our carbon footprint and advocating for change. By making small changes in our daily lives, we can make a significant impact on the health of our planet and the well-being of future generations. It is up to us to take action now and create a more sustainable future for all. Part 4: The role of collective action. In addition to individual action, collective action is also essential to addressing climate change. We must work together as a global community to reduce our carbon emissions, transition to renewable energy sources, and mitigate the impacts of climate change. This requires cooperation and collaboration across national borders, industries, and communities. It also requires addressing the root causes of climate change, such as economic and social inequality, and ensuring that everyone has access to the resources and technology necessary to reduce their carbon footprint. Climate change is an existential threat to humanity and our planet, but it is not too late to take action. By reducing our carbon footprint and advocating for change, we can create a more sustainable future for all. From transitioning to renewable energy sources to changing the way we eat and travel, there are many ways we can reduce our carbon footprint. It is up to us to take action now and create a world that is just, equitable, and sustainable for generations to come. So, let us work together to address climate change, reduce our carbon footprint, and create a future that is healthy, just, and sustainable for all. It is important to remember that the impacts of climate change are not limited to a single country or community. Climate change is a global issue that requires a global response. It is a shared responsibility that requires the cooperation and collaboration of all nations, industries, and individuals. As we work towards a more sustainable future, it is essential that we prioritize the well-being of all members of society. We must ensure that our efforts to reduce our carbon footprint do not exacerbate existing inequalities and that everyone has access to the resources and technology necessary to reduce their carbon emissions. Furthermore, it is important to recognize that climate change is not a problem that can be solved overnight. It requires sustained and long-term action, both at the individual and collective level. It requires changes in our values, behaviors, and systems. However, it is also essential to remain hopeful and optimistic. We have the technology, knowledge, and resources necessary to address climate change and create a more sustainable future. By working together and taking action now, we can create a world that is healthy, just, and sustainable for all. Conclusion? Climate change is an existential threat to humanity and our planet, but it is not too late to take action. By reducing our carbon footprint and advocating for change, we can create a more sustainable future for all. From transitioning to renewable energy sources to changing the way we eat and travel, there are many ways we can reduce our carbon footprint. It is up to us to take action now and create a world that is just, equitable, and sustainable for generations to come. So, let us work together to address climate change, reduce our carbon footprint, and create a future that is healthy, just, and sustainable for all. Let us remain hopeful and optimistic, knowing that we have the technology, knowledge, and resources necessary to make a difference. Together, we can create a better world.